We trade the New York Stock Exchange Open, which opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and that's when I get to my desk to actually execute this system. And once again, it doesn't matter if you're trading stocks, options, futures, forex, or crypto. This system works with any market or instrument you're trading, but you have to make sure you're trading it at the right time, and this will be 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and we will only trade for the first 90 minutes of the day. Now, for step one, all we have to do is coming into the day, we don't draw out any levels. This system is extremely simple and clear. We want to wait for the trend to develop during the day. For step one, all we're going to do is play out the chart, and remember, I'm going to show you the full results of the strategy if you traded it over a year, but so far we can see the market has dropped right off of the open here, but now we're seeing a little bit of a bounce. Buyers brought it up back above high of day, showing that the bulls are strong, and therefore buyers have overpowered sellers within the first 15 minutes of the market open. Now, for us in step one, all we had to do was wait for the trend to develop. In this example, the trend has developed because it shows a low, a higher low, and then it shows a high and a higher high, which shows that the market is of course bullish. So now we need to go to step two. For step two of this example, this is the one candle system. So all we have to do is mark out the highest down close candle in an uptrend. I'm going to show you exactly how the strategy works with the downtrend as well. But for step two, all we need to do is we can see the highest down close candle in this example is this one right here, right at 9:30. So for us, all we have to do is mark out the high all the way to the bottom. We draw out this rectangle box and we simply move it over. Now, it's important to understand what this actually means for us. The reason we mark this out is because when buyers are stepping into a stock, we know that there is unfilled liquidity at this down close candle. And therefore, when we come back into this area, this is where buyers will need to hold the stock as a level of support for the continuation move back to the upside. So this is going to be a high probability entry area for us, along with a very low risk, as we're not buying the breakout. We're buying the pullback, and we have very clear risk at the bottom of this trade. And finally, for step three, how do we enter? Where's our profit target and where's our stop loss? Well, let's play out this trade a little bit more and let's see if we can get that retest entry on this trade. And right here, you can see we are retesting this trade and a little bit of buyers are stepping up near this area. So how would we enter into this trade? Well, for this trade, what we would do is we would look to enter in here. Our stop loss would be a break of the one candle rule, which would be all the way down here, right? The break of the down close candle. And our profit target needs to be at least a 2R multiple. 2R multiple comes near the 625 whole psychological number. So that's where our profit target will be. This is a 2.2 risk to reward trade, which means for every $100 of risk, we would make $200 of profit. So what we're going to do is enter into a buy position here. We're risking about $85 to make about $178 if this trade does work. And just like that, within 4 candles, you can see this trade worked out very nicely, and it was a very simple trade that we were able to execute 30 minutes into the market open, and now I would be done my day using the one candle system. Now, this was the first example. This was a bullish example, but now let me go over and show you the bearish example as well. Okay, here we are on our second trade, and this is going to be a bearish example because we can not only make money for a move to the upside, but we can also make money if the stock is moving down potentially as well. Now, in this example here, what do we see? Well, for step one, we can see we waited for that clear trend. That trend is to the downside, and we are moving down on this stock. For step two, we now have to mark out the area of interest or our entry level. If we are moving to the upside, it will be the highest down close candle that we want. However, in this example, we're moving to the downside. Therefore, this will be the lowest up close candle. The lowest up close candle or the lowest green candle is this one right here at 936. So we can mark out the high to the low of this candle. All we want to see the stock do now, retest and then show that continuation move back to the downside. So this is something that's very important to mention. If the stock is moving to the upside, you would mark out the highest down close candle. If the stock is moving to the downside, you will mark out the lowest up close candle. Now for step three, we simply have to wait for an entry to occur with weak price action. If you don't know how to to read price action, I have a full in-depth course going over how to read price action in the playlist in the description. But as you can see here, we came back into this area and now this candle is showing bearish price action because we're closing back below the one candle rule. Our stop loss once again is just a break of that one candle rule, and we need at least a 2R multiple. 2R multiple comes near the 255 whole psychological number, which means if we're risking $1,000 on this trade, we should make $2,130. Now, let's see exactly how this trade plays out and if we hit our profit target. And just like that, you can see we entered into this trade at 9:42 and we were already done the day at 9:50 by following the system and making trading extremely simple. Now, I'm going to show you one more example so you understand exactly how I use a system in real time, and this is going to be an important example. And after that, I'll show you what happens after a 100 trade backtest using this exact system. All right, here we are on our last example. And on this example, like we said, for step one, all we have to do is open up the day and see which way the market is trending. Here we can see for step one, we waited for the trend to confirm. Here we can see a low, a higher low. We can also see a high and a higher high. Now for step two, we have to mark out, because this is an uptrend, highest down close candle. This at 9:34 is the highest down close candle that we can mark out. So we're simply going to mark that out and move the box over. And now we know for this example, all we need is a break above, a retest, and continuation. If you watched my other videos before as well, you can also see this is the 5-minute opening range. So not only is this the one candle system, but this is the first candle system as well. And both of these are combined. But let's see if we can actually get an entry now based off of this setup that has presented itself. Okay, so right here we can see buyers stepped in. We're now coming back for the retest, and we do see some up close candles here showing that buyers are stepping in. This is where we would look to go long on the trade. Our stop loss, once again, a break of this down close candle, and our profit target needs to be at least a 2R multiple. In this example, this comes near the 448 key area. Now we can enter into a long position here, and we're risking about $1,890 for about $3,740 in potential profits. So let's see exactly how this trade plays out and if we do end up hitting our profit targets. And you can see for this trade right here, we were able to hit our profit target as well. We were done the day at around 10:11, meaning in about 40 minutes, we were done the day by simply understanding how to use the one candle system. And of course, this exact trade was taken live in real time in front of thousands of traders in the Accelerator and Traders Lab, where I live trade every day to help traders learn and see how I execute these setups in real time. Now, with this being said, I said I was going to show you the full results of this system if you traded it over 100 trades. So let me show you the exact results of this system. So like I said, I want to show you guys the results over a 100 trade basis. Here we took 126 trades and we started this account with $5,000. It resulted in $106,000 with a 65% win rate, a 4R profit factor, a 77% daily win rate, and a 2.2 average win to loss trade. Now I want to show you this because I want to mention every strategy has losses. However, I want to be completely transparent with the results of this system and what would happen if I executed it over a long period of time.